So let's start to introduce the class. Deirdre will start by making the turkey and mashed potato croquette. So here it's, okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna push myself. There we go. Tanya will follow and make some pecan pie tarts. Our newly member from Argentina, Erica, will introduce us to pull-apart dinner rolls. And finally, Sophie will make a cranberry pecan cheese ball as an appetizer for Thanksgiving. So go ahead, Didi. It's your turn.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Good? Okay, awesome. So today I'm going to be making the turkey and mashed potato croquettes. This is from the Thankful for Leftovers collection that Cook I Do has. They have a lot of Thanksgiving collections, but this one's really great because after Thanksgiving, you're always like, oh, I don't know what to do with all this food that I have left over. So this is a great way to use all these leftovers that you have and, keep eating them for the next couple of days. You can freeze this recipe and you can fry them later. So yeah, let's start. So yesterday I actually made mashed potatoes. So this is something you have to do before. Obviously, you'll have them left over from your Thanksgiving dinner. So it says onions. I'm only doing a half recipe just because it's only 2 of us and there's only so much croquettes we can eat. It asks for celery, but I personally don't really like celery, so I'm going to skip the celery part. 2 garlic cloves. I do love garlic. I actually add garlic to the mashed potato recipe just because who doesn't like garlic mashed potatoes? In here, I have my parsley, I have my dried sage, I have salt and pepper. Okay. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna approximate that. Yeah. Insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl lid. Where's my measuring cup? Here it is.
And that's a great thing about Thermomix, right? Is that you can, if there's an ingredient you don't like, you just don't put it inside.
Yeah, absolutely. I happen to change a lot of the ingredients sometimes. You do have to be careful because for example, it might screw up the balance if it's something very delicate, but if it's something small, like you don't like celery or you don't like cilantro, you just don't put the cilantro in and it's not going to ruin your recipe. So we're going to blend for 3 seconds on speed 5. Okay, it's telling you to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl with a spatula. I'll show you what it did and I show you why we do this because it's all over the sides. So the next part is going to be cooking all this onion mixture. So you want it to be really down at the bottom where it's going to be touching the blades and rotating around. Put the lid back on here. We're actually going to place the simmering basket on here. And it's very important that you follow these rules because this actually prevents splashing, the oil from splashing over. And you really don't want that because for safety reasons, if, for example, I forgot to put the simmering basket over once and I left this in and I had jam all over my Thermomix because it had expanded so much. So this leaves room for the steam to expand. Yeah.
Yes, follow the directions. Listen to your Thermomix.
Really, really important. I sometimes, so I'm actually, I'm a chef and sometimes I'm like, this isn't going to work. This doesn't, is this true? And then I change it and then I always screw it up and I say, I should have trusted my Thermomix. I should have. And that's something that happens to me. It happened to me and now I know, trust my Thermomix. So we're going to cook 5 minutes, 250 Fahrenheit on speed half, 0.5. Okay. That's the beginning for me.
Thank you. Let's go to Tanya, who's going to present her pecan tarts.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the class. So today I'm gonna make one of the Thanksgiving favorites, so which is the pecan pie tarts. So we're going to start now with the dough. So they asked me to, after the first step is to grease the tartlets tin, but since I have a non-stick one, so now I'm going to skip that step. So second step, I'm going to add the flour. So I need 140 grams of flour, which I'm putting in my bowl right now. Then I need half a teaspoon of baking powder. A pinch of sea salt. So I need 70 grams of butter. So it has to be chilled. So I'm gonna get it in from the fridge. Yeah. So it's very important for the butter. It needs to be chilled and not soft. So keep it in the fridge until the last minute, and then pull it out when you need. Take it out when you need it. So I add the butter. So for this, the better the butter is, the brand, the better the result is. I like to use Irish butter that you can find at Trader Joe's or even at Costco. So now I'm going to add the ice sugar. And then finally 2 egg yolks. Oh, and 1 tablespoon of milk. Okay, so now I put the lid in the measuring cup, and then everything is going to mix for 10 seconds, speed 6. And we are done. So I will show you the result. So my dough is made. So I'm gonna put it in a plate and form a ball. So, and then I will keep this, let me, that so you can see. Up. So what you do after that, you just make a ball with the dough. And once you have a nice ball, which is this, so you just wrap it on a plastic film, and then you keep it in the fridge for 20 minutes, like you do while you do the next step. So now we're gonna follow with Erica. No, Sophie. Sorry. No, Erica.
Thank you. No, it's Erica.
It's Erica. Yeah. Sorry.
Hi everyone. I'm going to be doing the pull apart dinner rolls, and I really love them. So I'm going to show you how it works. First of all, we're going to start cooking in our Cook I Do, and it says line a baking dish with parchment paper. So I have it on the side, and then I'm going to press next, and then it calls for 17 ounces of all-purpose flour. So the beauty of these is that the scale is right here, and it will tell me when I have my 17 ounces. So I'm doing all of these, checking. Now we are at 13. Then we have our 17 ounces required, and we go to the next step. And now it's the 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry yeast, and it's exactly 1 package. So all what you do is just get the package in. So it's not, I'm not using the scale right now. It's not Go for it. Then next, we need 4 ounces of water. And again, the scale is back to 0, and it will tell me when the 4 are there. Perfect. We go to the next, and it's 3 1/4 teaspoons of salt. And I like to use sea salt in my recipes. Okay. And then the next one, it's 1 ounce of sugar. Right there. And then plain Greek yogurt. And it's calling for 4 ounces of Greek yogurt. And this will give the fluffy consistency. Okay, then we need 2 large eggs. Okay. And we need unsalted butter. And I like the same one that was mentioned before, the Ireland one. But because I'm vegan, many times I just use my vegan recipes, and it works as fine with everything else. So this is going to call for 2 ounces of unsalted butter. Excellent. And then that's the easy part, because the Thermomix will do it for me. It's going to be, first of all, mixing everything a little bit. So I'm going to press next. And all I have to do is just turn this to speed 5. And it's 5 seconds. And then the next step, it's keeping the measuring cup so it's not going to splash all over the place. It's going to knead it for me for 3 minutes. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is go to the next chef. So this Thermomix will be ready when I come back.
All right. Thank you, Erica. Sophie, it's your turn.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to introduce you to an appetizer. This is a pecan cranberry cheese ball, and I have it on my meal plan for the week. So it's very easy, quick to make, and it's kind of a spread to share with your guests at home. So start cooking. We are going to chop 2.5 ounces of pecan. So I prepared here my pecan. I'm going to tear that, go back to 0. Pressing next, we are going to chop the pecan. So it's going to be 2 seconds, speed 6. There we go. I'm going to keep my chopped pecan aside in a bowl. So as you can see, it's there. It's finely chopped. So I'm going to put this in a bowl, and I'm going to reserve that for later. And we are going to prepare the cheese mix to create the cheese ball. So here are my chopped pecan. So very quick to do, easy. So I did that already. I'm going to now grind some aged cheddar, white cheddar, 4 ounces. So it's always better to cut them in cubes to have the appropriate size of grinded cheddar. And then cranberries, 2 ounces of dried cranberries. There we go. One missing. And I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme leaves. But of course, we can add some other herbs if we like to. So this is up to your taste. And we are going to blend this together. So it's speed 6, 5 seconds. So now we have the cheddar, which is grated with the herbs and the cranberry. As a result, there we go. And we are going to add now some cream cheese, and it smells actually wonderful with the herbs. So 8 ounces of cream cheese, room temperature. So I'm going to turn my scale here back to 0, adding my cream cheese. Next. And now all we have to do is to blend this all together. One more time. Speed 7, 5 seconds. There we go. And now I'm going to transfer this on a piece of plastic wrap. And we are going to make it into a bowl, to wrap it into a bowl, so that we can place it into the fridge during a half hour. I'm going to put it into the freezer so that it's going to be a little bit faster. And I will be able to show you the results. So here is my cranberry cheddar mix. And I'm going to put this on my wrap here, and I will make it into a bowl. It's very consistent, so it has a nice, it's holds well together, so it's going to be easy to prepare a bowl out of that. So of course, you can reduce the quantities and make it just a half if you don't want to have such a big quantity. It's always up to you. So I'm going to wrap my plastic wrap like this, squeeze this into a bowl. I'm going to place this into the fridge, actually the freezer, to make it cool faster. And I will see you then a little bit later. So
Thank you, Sophie. Have you made that before?
No, actually, I haven't.
Okay.
So, this is the first.
So I've heard that some people wanted to cook along with us. So if you are, please tell us in the chat what you're cooking, and then we'll ask you a little bit later what you thought about it. So now it's time for Didi.
Okay, so my onions are nice and cooked. So what's left is very easy. Remember that turkey that you made for Thanksgiving and you have so much of it left because you bought an enormous turkey because you're like, everyone's gonna eat this, but really everyone got really full. So we're gonna add cooked turkey. And then the mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes is also a Thermomix recipe. It is one of my favorite things to make in my Thermomix. And I actually use the French recipe because I think it's better than the American recipe. So as a tip, in your Cook I Do, you can change your filters and go for all the different languages and countries. And you pick the French one, and then you can translate with your phone on Google Translate. It's much better, honestly, in my opinion. They would do things a little differently. So that's just a quick tip from me. So my mashed potatoes are in here. Insert the lid with a measuring cup. And we're going to blend for 10 seconds on speed 4. So here is your final mixture. We're going to transfer this into a bowl and let it chill for a little bit, just so that it's easier to shape. I actually did it before though, just so you don't have to wait. So I'll use that later. And I'll show you what I did. So before I show you, I'm going to show you my setup here. I'm actually going to turn my Thermomix so that I can, oops. So I can show you my setup. So over here, I have egg, flour, and breadcrumbs that I'm going to use. So this is called a panning station. And this is what you do when you want to, for example, if you're making anything that has breadcrumbs on it, you want to start with flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs. I use panko breadcrumbs just because that's what I have. But you can definitely use the thin breadcrumbs. Sometimes I even make my breadcrumbs myself when I have leftover bread that's a little stale. I just bake it and I pulverize it in my Thermomix and it makes great breadcrumbs. Over here, I have my frying station set up. So I have a little pan with oil started. And we're going to heat the oil on a medium heat. So this is a tip for me too. So you can spoon it into little balls, but what I actually do is I take a piping bag and put my mashed potato mixture in it, and I pipe it. Kind of like an eclair. And then you freeze that. And once that's frozen, you can cut them into smaller pieces. And you want it to be cold and frozen when you fry it, just so it doesn't disintegrate. So now that we have these pieces, we're going to put them in the flour first. We're going to put them in egg. And you want to go relatively fast because you don't want the mashed potatoes to get soft again. And then we're going to put them in panko, and we're rolling them around in the panko. And the reason you start with flour is so that it can absorb the eggs and really have that really nice soaky egg mixture. So that's what it looks like. And then we just pop them in our fryer. I'm actually gonna, just like that. So you want to rotate it.
Thank you.
Until it's cooked. And that's it. All you have to do is drain it, maybe add a little salt, and you can serve it with cranberry sauce or any kind of dip that you'd like. And that's it.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you are gluten-free, like many of us are now these days, you can also change the flour for
so there's also gluten-free panko, which is a little bit of a different texture. But I tend to actually, when I do get the gluten-free panko, I mill it in the Thermomix because it's a little clunkier.
That's true.
So you can put it on speed 10 for maybe like 5 seconds, and it will get a finer consistency, and it will coat your stuff better. It's almost done. Just be very careful because it's hot oil. The ideal temperature for this is 375 degrees Fahrenheit for this oil. That's just what you want for frying. And there it is, your croquette.
Thank you, Didi. And now let's go back to Tanya.
So now we're going to start the filling. So as you can see, so I clean my bowl. So to do that, I'm going to give you a tip. So you can, when you're on your recipe like that, you can go back to the home button menu, press on the home button menu, you slide right, and you have the pre-clean mode here. So you can clean your bowl very fast. And when it's done, I mean, for this recipe, you don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, that's what you can do. Then you come back and we continue. Oh, another tip that I wanted to give you, to dry your bowl, what you can do if you don't want to do it yourself. So you just place inside a tea towel, and then you put it, you turn on a few seconds. So on reverse mode, so it dries itself. Okay, so now we have to wait 200 grams of pecan nuts, which I already did. So we're gonna skip that step. Remove 20 pecans halves, which I did too, so they're on the side. And now we are going to put the pecans in the bowl and mix it for 10 seconds. I will show you the result. So our pecans are nicely shredded. So I put it back. I tear, and then I add 60 grams of, oh no, the sugar first, brown sugar. So I tried that recipe yesterday, and for those of you who like me and who like to reduce the sugar, so when I first made that recipe, I reduced the sugar, but don't do it because it's a perfect amount. So don't do it. Just follow the recipe. Now we need 60 grams of unsalted butter, soft. Oops. Okay, and next. And we need maple syrup. 110 grams of maple syrup. Okay. So for the syrup, I just use the organic one from Costco for those of you who wants to know. It's very good, and yeah. So now we need 2 large eggs that I pour into the mixture. And then we're gonna mix everything together for 15 seconds on speed 3. Okay, so this is the result. This is our mixture that we are going to pour into the shells. So I'm gonna get my dough in the fridge. So, and we're gonna spread it out. So the dough is a little bit flaky, so I'm gonna do that so you can see up. So you can see better what I'm doing. So I just spread it. So as you can see, it's a little bit flaky. It doesn't all together. It's normal because this is kind of dough it is. So what I do, I just add a little bit of flour to make it stay together better. So Didi was suggesting, so Didi is our chef. She's our pastry chef. So she was suggesting that instead of doing the flour, you can add a little bit of water. So whatever works for you, you can do. So either flour or water would make it stick together better. So I'm not gonna, I will not do all of it, just a few, just to show you how you should do it at home. And then I use this little thing to make some, yeah, round. And then I'm just gonna move everything from my way up. And then I put it in my tray like that.
Are these muffin molds or just tarts molds?
No, it's tarts mold. So okay. The recipe says to use 6 centimeters, but I don't have 6 centimeters. So I use a mini one because I think they are less, I mean, they are nicer when you serve them, and then you can eat more too, because they are so tiny, so you feel like eating, yeah, and they are really good. So once you do that, I'm not gonna do all of them because it will take too long. You just pour Yeah. Like that. So you can make a big one, you can make the little one like that, or you can make the medium size. So you do that, and with the reserve that we left on the side, so you just break them a little bit, or you can put just one if you want. So you just do as you want, and then you just add a few on the top to decorate, or if you prefer to put all one, you can do it that way. So it's really up to you. And then you bake everything for 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your taste. And so I'm going to show you the results since I made some yesterday. So after baking, this is what you get. So you have a nice tray. So here they are like that. And I made the bigger size too. So the bigger size would be like that. So this you can serve as dessert, and this you can serve like appetizer. I mean, even dessert, but you know, like mignardises. Yeah, little mignardises. Yeah.
Nice. Did you try one?
Oh, yes. They are very, I would do it now, but they are too addictive. So when I start to eat one, I mean, I cannot stop. Oh, and the last step. So when you put them, after they come out from the oven, so what you do, you wait 5 minutes until it's cooled down a little bit, but it still has to be warm. And when it's cool after 5 minutes, you just brush them with apricot jam. So I didn't do it because I thought it would add more sweet, and I like it natural, but you can do that. I think it's just for the shiny part. Yeah. Voila.
Thank you, Tania, for this great little dessert. And Chantal was saying it's a super amuse-bouche. We can also say amuse-gueule.
Yes, thank you, Chantal. And it's really good. I mean, it's really, once you start, you cannot stop. And the good thing with doing it with your Thermomix and not buying it in the store, it's like, it's very good ingredient and you control everything you put in it. So
yeah, there's no additives.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Let's go back to Erica with her pull-apart dinner roll.
Yes. So the next step will be to place the dough in a prepare bowl. The prepare bowl means that you can just add a little bit of oil to not make the dough stick with the bowl. So what I did, I just want to show you. The dough is super, I love the dough. And when you touch it, it's super flexible. So it's so much fun when it's ready because all what we have to do, and let's follow the Thermomix recipe, it's leave it for at least 1 hour. So it dries more when I leave it for more, and I like that because then you can play and have a little more of these pull-apart bread. So you wait at least 1 hour, and then you have to punch the dough to make to reshape, and then you have to transfer the bowl to a flour surface and make 12 little ones. And the trick here is to let them rise again. And that's why, just for the sake of time, I'm not showing it because it takes a long time. So you have to wait about 40 minutes to let them rise. And the way you do it is you place them already in a deep dish. So you place them one next to another, and then you wait 40 minutes. And the next step is to do the wash, the egg wash, which is just 1 egg with 1 spoon of water, and then you put it on top with a little brush. You just brush them on top, and they go to a preheated oven for 375. And one is ready, and that's another secret of the bread. You have to wait until it's ready because the amount of time that you're gonna place them in the oven is 20, 25 minutes. It depends on the oven. I have to leave it for about 30, for mine to work. It's an electrical oven that I have. But it's very important to have it all set at the right temperature, so you know that it's going to be there for 20 to 30 minutes. And you get them out, and that's what you get. So you get the pull apart. I already pulled them apart because they're so soft and yummy. But because I'm gluten-free, I cannot eat them. So I asked my family how they like it, and they loved it. And something else that I want to share with everybody, I like to work with grams instead of with a metric system many times, because I get recipes from Mexico, from Argentina. So the scale will just switch. You just go to the setting part, and then it will go from imperial to metric system very easily if you feel more comfortable. And the other part that I love about the Thermomix is once you're done, you can just swipe it and you have access to all the functions. And the function that I like a lot is the pre-clean. I like them all, but the pre-clean is very easy because if you have dough, this one is a sticky one. So I add a little bit of flour to roll it and to make the dough in a bowl, and then to make the little ones, you need a little flour, but it gets a little stuck here. Sometimes the pizza dough, for instance, will not stuck, but this one particularly stuck a little bit. So you just go to the pre-clean mode and then you press it. And all what you have to do is just choose, because there are many functions. Even within this function, you can choose dough or some others. And voila, in 8 minutes, it's going to be almost clean. So I love the recipe and I love how this works. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Erica. And now we are asking Sophie to show her cheese ball.
Yes, hi, welcome back. So I took my cheese ball from the freezer, so it's nice and stiff, and I'm going to pull my pecan crunch into a little dip bowl like this, and I will roll my ball inside so that I'm going to coat it evenly with the chopped pecan. So I'm just going to pour this like that. And I'm going to try to do that nicely and coat my cheese ball with the pecan all around. To have something nice and even. And this is going to give some crunchiness to that preparation on top of the herbs for the savory feeling, the savory taste, and the cranberry for the sweet flavor. So this is, I guess it's going to be very nice, and it presents well when you have guests. So it's probably going to wow everybody at the table. It's a nice way to start the day or the Thanksgiving dinner. There we go.
Yeah, you can even use Erica's dinner pull-apart dinner roll to with the cheese.
Yeah, or
the crackers.
You can serve them with crackers. So here we are. I prepared a little plate and my crackers, and you can also decorate with some pecan and just present that to your guest for a shared dish. So
nice.
There we go. So I don't know if you see it.
Yeah. Yes.
There we go. So with cranberries, pecan on the top, and the cream cheese and cheddar. So
thank you so much.
Welcome.
I want to say that you don't have to make these recipes if you don't like them, but you can find others with the cook I do. So I'm going to show you where you can find them on the cook I do, but let's see. I thought I was prepared for that. Okay. right, so I'm going to share my screen, and now I have the cookie dough. There we go. So what you can do if you want to choose another recipe is go to search and type Thanksgiving, and you search. You can get rid of the United States, and you see here you have a few recipes, 136. It's actually quite a lot. And you can also otherwise use the collections. There we go. So you have Holiday Feast, you have No Fail, you have Thankful for Leftovers. That's where Didi used her mashed potato and turkey recipe, croquette. And that's pretty helpful because after the big dinner, you can have so much leftovers. You can make a soup. And Holiday Feast, here you have the pumpkin pie that everyone loves, spicy cranberry orange sauce. So you have plenty of choices. And now I want to show you what we have coming soon in the Cook I Do. And here's this one here. It's a sneak peek. So you probably saw on the Cook I Do the Simply Pre-Clean collection and the alternate risotto because it just came out. But you also have on the 20th, the Rich Salt Carton new collection coming out, as well as the Hanukkah celebration collection. So that's something you can look into for your friends and family. So we're really excited about that collection. And I wanted to let you know about the new promotion coming out that came out on Monday and will end on November 25th. So you can purchase a Thermomix with a second bowl and a carry bag if you want to go on road trips. And it's going to be $1,619. And to close the class, I wanted to let you know tomorrow there's going to be a maintenance break from 2 to 3. So what you can do is you can save your recipes prior to the maintenance break. That way you don't have to you can look for your recipes. They're not lost, basically. So they'll be in your memory. And so you can go on about your day and make your dinner or your pastries or anything you want to do between 2 and 3 when there's a maintenance break happening. So I hope you enjoy the class. Thank you, ladies, for participating and showing the recipes. If you have any questions, concern, contact your consultant and let them know. If you want to have a cooking experience, you can have gifts. If you invite 2 people, and everything is online, so you don't have to go anywhere. You just stay, in your couch, and that's the beauty of virtual realities right now. So thank you very much. Bye, Chantal. Bye, everyone. And looking forward to see you next month for our next class, probably Christmas. There's going to be Christmas recipe coming up. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.